when you spend 2 years not signing midfielders to buy Jude Bellingham is just bloody stupid.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. And if they're saying, well, we don't want to get involved because it might cost us a lot of money, really? Because I think we knew that Jude Bellingham was going to cost Liverpool quite a lot of money. I think we've kind of always known that, to be honest with you. So now for you to go, oh, we probably just don't want to get into a bidding war with anybody. Shut the up, go and sign us 2 midfielders 2 years ago, because that's what we needed. If you're not going to just get to the start line of the race, it's just stupid. It's idiotic. We've wasted a year because Liverpool wanted to sign Jude Bellingham, and then they decide Jude Bellingham isn't going to come to us because we don't want to get into a bidding war. Off.
Oh dear. Yeah, the views of Chris Pajak. Big up to everyone in the house. How we doing? I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for joining me today. I do appreciate it. This is going to be the call-in special. I know I said I'd do it on Thursday, but I forgot the England game was on Thursday, so I'm going to do it tonight. We're going to wait for everyone to come into the house, and then we're going to I'll give you the link in the chat in a bit, guys, once everyone's coming, because I know a lot of people want to come on again tonight and have their say. Everything Liverpool Football Club. How is everyone? Hope everyone's doing well. Don't forget, guys, please go and hit that like button straight away on the video and subscribe if you're new. Share the video out, all the good stuff, guys. Thank you very much. And remember, guys, be respectful in the live chat as well to your fellow Reds in the live chat. It's all opinions and debates, but it's all love at the same time. So respect everywhere, guys, please. Thank you very much. So, yeah, there were the views of Chris Pajak just now. Chris Pajak. Now, obviously, this has gone on Twitter. A lot of people are talking about, oh, Chris Pajak has seen the light. Yeah, Redmen TV has seen the light. If you watch Redmen TV, I watch Redmen TV quite a bit. It's a great channel, right? I watch them quite a bit. Chris Pajak has always had these views. Now, Chris Pajak is actually the one who's always had these views on the owners. You know, it's obviously Paul Machin, who has different kind of views, is a little bit more, you know, laid back where that's concerned. But Chris Pajak's always has these views. I've heard him multiple times going at the owners and all that. I think he did a video not long ago where he said he wants FSG to leave Liverpool. So he's always had these views. It's just that, you know, because this has been clipped up, everyone's like, oh my God, he's seen the light. He's always had these views. Big up to everyone in the house. Hope you're all doing well. Big up Tom, Edward K, how you doing? Panoff, Mac LFC, how you doing? Daz, Daniel Thomas in the house, Michael, Mike. Hope you're all doing well, guys. Hope you're all doing well. And Bruno, all in the house. Good to see everyone here. Good to see the regulars. I just want to share something else with you guys as well. I want your opinions on this because I tweeted this out today. So, you know, I retweeted this today. So I want people's opinion on this as well. I want your opinions on this as well, guys. Let me know.
Champions League or the league?
The biggest prize almost in world football is the Premier League trophy. It's the greatest league in the world. And to win that, there's nothing that can come close. Even the Champions League final, again, Champions League final is a great achievement, but again, a glorified cup competition, nothing more. Plenty of good teams.
Glorified cup competition, he said. Glorified cup competition with some good teams. Oh my God, Arsenal have had 10 crap years in the darkness. They've had one good year and they come out with this absolute BS. Oh, paid actors. It's mad, ain't it? It's absolutely mad. They come out with so much BS to these lot. They've had 10 years in poverty, yeah, and they come out of their woodwork all of a sudden because they're top of the Premier League. So why, if the Premier League is so good, I don't know this Arsenal fan's name. I don't give a crap either. But if the Premier League is so good and so hard to win, how comes you couldn't beat Sporting Lisbon in the Europa League? If it's only a cup competition. Well, these guys, man. These guys make me laugh. Listen to the rest.
Win the Champions League, but not great teams, because you need the luck of a draw in a cup competition. So that's what it is. Whereas a Premier League title, the best team wins.
Right, he said not great teams win the Champions League. If you're a Real Madrid fan right now, he is telling you Arsenal are better than you because they never won the Champions League. Arsenal have never, ever won the European Cup, so that's Champions League. And he's telling Real Madrid fans right now that you are nothing. You're nobodies. You're just a decent club. What the heck? And again, only great teams win the Premier League. Yes, of course. And only great teams win the Champions League. That's why if you go on Champions League wins for all the biggest teams in world football, they're all the greatest teams in world football. Real Madrid, Liverpool, Man United, Barcelona, AC Milan, Bayern Munich. These are the biggest teams in club football around the world because they have European heritage. Stop with this BS because you've had 10 years in the darkness. They've opened the cellar door for you. You've seen the light for the first time in 10 years. Your eyes are sore because they haven't seen daylight for so long. And you come out with this utter drivel. This utter drivel. They got knocked out by Sporting Lisbon in the Europa League. Stop! The Premier League is not the best league in the world. It's the most fun and entertaining league in the world. Stop overrating a league because you're top of it. Because you're top of it in a poor season where everyone else is absolute cack. Yeah? I'm sick of these overrating Arsenal fans. They're doing my head in. And not all of them, by the way. These Arsenal fans give actual proper Arsenal fans, a bad identity. They make the Arsenal fans think like this all the time. Oh, it's Muppet FC.
Wins it. There is no dispute.
All right, let me go.
Champions
Let me do this again with no interruptions, guys. I'm going to play it one more time with no interruption because they're absolute. Oh.
League or the league?
The biggest prize almost in world football is the Premier League trophy. It's the greatest league in the world.
Sorry, I have to interrupt. I said I wouldn't interrupt. He just said the biggest prize in club football is the Premier League. So La Liga's shite, is it? So why do all the best players in the world want to play for Real Madrid and Barcelona? If the league is, stop overrating something because you're top of it. Oh my God. This is why I don't want Arsenal to win the league, guys. This is why I don't want Arsenal to win the league because of this utter garbage. The Premier League is the greatest competition in the world because they're top of it. Because they're top of it. I wonder what he would say if Arsenal were in the semi-final of the Champions League right now. I wonder what he'd say. I tell you what, I wonder what this doofus would say if Arsenal had European heritage. No, but all they've got is North London heritage. North London heritage is all Arsenal got, and they're not even originally from North London. Oh, I hate these people so much. They give them platforms. Why have they got platforms? Why are they allowed to speak so much nonsense? Not the Forest have got 2 European Cups. If Martin O'Neill started giving me advice on European trophies, I'd listen to him. Oh, I can't be doing with this cack anymore.
League in the world.
Right. This time I will play it without mentioning anything. Ready? It's only like 30 seconds long. I'll try not to interrupt this time. Oh.
Champions League or the league?
The biggest prize almost in world football is the Premier League trophy. It's the greatest league in the world. And to win that, there's nothing that can come close. Even the Champions League final. Again, Champions League final is a great achievement. But again, a glorified cup competition. Nothing more. Plenty of good teams win the Champions League, but not great teams because you need the luck of a draw in a cup competition. So that's what it is. Whereas a Premier League title, the best team wins it. There is no dispute.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't. Oh. Right, Leo Messi. If Messi's watching this video, Messi, hang everything up right now. Because by this absolute fraud chatting right here, He's basically saying, because you've won all them Spanish titles, you've won a World Cup and European Cups. It means nothing because you've not won the Premier League. Oh my God. What the hell is happening here? Someone please tell me what is happening here. I'm listening to people just say the greatest competition in the world is the Premier League. Were they saying this last season? Were they saying the greatest competition in the world is the Premier League when they were 5th? Were they saying it when Tottenham was above them? No, of course they're not. They're saying it now because they're top of the league. Glorified cup. He just said, yeah, some good teams have won the Champions League, but no great teams. So, Munsey, the Man United 1999 side, Munsey, was not a great side, apparently, according to this plonker. The Real Madrid side that have won it 14 times are all crap, according to this plonker. Liverpool, 6 European trophies. By the way, competed for the Premier League, finished on 97 points to a City team that was probably cheating, and won the Champions League that year. He's on about glorified cup competitions. They're not even in one. They've been knocked out of every cup they went in. So how's the Premier League so great? Oh, I can't stand these people. I really can't. And the fact is, guys, these people are not even doing it for clicks. He's not even doing it for clicks. He means it. He believes it. Because Arsenal are top of the league right now. Oh, it's the best league in the world. It's the greatest competition in the world, Robbie. Yes, Robbie, it's the greatest competition in the world. Some good teams won the Champions League. Some good teams, but no great teams. This is the greatest competition in the world because we're top of it right now. I hope Man City win the league. I don't care now. I hope Man City win the league. Pac-Man's here. If Pac-Man's here, I hope you win the Premier League. I really do. Because I can't take this. I can't take this. If Real Madrid win the Champions League, if Real Madrid or Bayern Munich win the Champions League this year, yeah? Or Man City win the Champions League, right? According to this geezer, that's nothing. Can you imagine if Real Madrid win the Champions League? Real Madrid would have had to beat Liverpool, Chelsea, either Man City or Bayern Munich, and then win the final, right? But according to this absolute donkey breath, Arsenal winning the Premier League is a greater accomplishment, beating Fulham, Brighton, Nottingham Forest and Leeds. Go away! Go away! It's just mad. You're not a great side. You're a good side. They're overrating themselves. This is what does my head in. They're overrating themselves. They're a good side. They're making out they're a great side. They're making out they're all conquering. You're 8 points above a City team that is nowhere near as good as they've been the last previous years. Liverpool and Chelsea are dog crap right now. Newcastle and Tottenham are challenging to a top 4. This is a crap league. A shite league. Don't overrate yourselves. Jesus Christ. Does my head in. Paid actors. Paid actors. Paid actors. Well, that's my rant done for the day. I'm ranted out now. My rant is done. My rant is done. I'm done. I'm finished here. Right. Let's get something else up on the screen. Let's go pee everyone off, shall we? Let's get something else on the screen. Let's go pee everyone off. Right, here you go. All right, let's get this on the screen. There you go. There you go. Come on. You know you love to see it. You know you love to see it. Right, what do we reckon? What do we reckon, guys? What do we reckon? Rabiot, potential free agent in June. This apparently is quotes from Rabiot. Quotes. I loved Liverpool a lot because I was a a big fan of Steven Gerrard, who made me dream. And so, therefore, I follow the Reds. Bullshit. What? No. No. By the way, I believe if you've been watching my channel for a while, I've been saying that I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool got Rabiot. I think Edward is in the chat. Edward, I think you'll remember me saying this about Rabiot, that I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool got him because we had back and forth on it. Yeah, he's older than God. He was decent at the World Cup, though. I will give Rabiot that. He was decent at the World Cup. FC, but no, but I can see it happening. Yeah, exactly. I predicted this about a few months back. I said it wouldn't be surprised. Rabiot's contract's coming to an end. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if someone Liverpool look at. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they are looking at someone like him. I know some people don't like him. I don't mind him. I think he's all right. But I'm not. People can have their opinions on it. He's better than Mason Mount, says Albert. Big up Albert. Big up Bruno in the chat as well. Big up, hey, how you doing? Trudon in the chat. Vic in the chat. How you all doing, guys? Hope you all doing well. Albert in the chat as well, my man. He gets goals from midfield. He's a hard-ass tackler. He would do the Klopp on Klopp's left-hand side. I see it as well. I see it. Easy on the Elliott thing, Albert. Easy on the Elliott stuff. I'd rather play Tyler Morton, you know. He says. Man, I saw something a minute ago that made me laugh as well. Where was this comment? Let me just go back. Comments are flying in. Oh, here you go. Christy said, I can't wait till next year when Real Madrid humble Arsenal. Yes. Oh, dear. Big up Jen in the chat as well. Hope you're doing well, Jen, on a new channel there. Oh. Big up Owen in the chat. Legend Jamie, hope this doesn't effing happen. He's shite. And I got a message. Who just DM'd me? Look at that come up on my Twitter straight away. Who just DM'd me? We need a clean out. We certainly do. Big up John in the house. How you doing, my man? Hope you're doing well. Look, the guy 6'4" would win aerial duels and he's strong. Yeah, I'm all for people's opinions. You guys can throw it out there if you don't. I like him. I think Rabiot in Jurgen Klopp's system would be all right. It would be all right, but you know. Albert says, don't get me wrong, I like Elliot. I'll give him an A for effort. He's not there for 3 more years. But now he's a squad player. Big up Albert. Yeah, Alisson is not in the Brazil squad. So Alisson didn't get called up. Now, I don't know why. Because I did see Alisson on holiday. There's a picture of Alisson on holiday with his family. And I wondered, I didn't think about it till today that I heard that he never got called up for the Brazil team. Ederson got called up, but Alisson didn't. Now, for one, I'm glad our best player's not going on international duty. I'm cool with it. But how can you not call up the best goalkeeper in the world? That just don't make no sense. Hopefully he asks for a break and he asks for a rest. That's what I think. I think Rabiot just DM'd you, Jamie. Yes, Rabiot just got in my DMs. He's telling you all to leave him be. He's telling Oh, man. Right, the other thing we've got to talk about. So the Jude Bellingham stuff. Apparently there's a U-turn on this whole Jude Bellingham scenario going on right now. So I think David Lynch come out and did an article about it and said Liverpool, from what he knows, Liverpool are very much still interested in Jude Bellingham and want the deal to be done. I think the deal's still due. Like, I know I did a video the other day. I think we all got a bit clickbaited by David Ornstein's piece on Twitter where he talks about Liverpool and Jude Bellingham. Because if you go back and read it, it's more of an opinion piece. It's his opinion. It's not actual fact or he's heard anything or anything like that. So I think we all got a bit taken by it, and we all did videos on it and spoke about it. All of us did. Every Liverpool content creator spoke about it. But when you go back and look at it, it's an opinion piece. It's just Ornstein's point of view that he's never seen FSG spend that kind of money on one player. You know, why is it going to start now? In my opinion, they're probably not in for him. They're probably looking at other people and blah, 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 blah. Then I read some other things today. David Lynch, I like Lynch. He's a good journalist. I read a lot of his stuff. He has good contact with inside the club as well. And he's basically saying he still ain't off. Don't worry about it, Reds. You know, just wait. And we know how Liverpool work as well. We know how Liverpool work as well. That, you know, they do things under the cover of darkness, don't they? You know, you don't really know what Liverpool are going to do till, you know, the day it happens. So, yeah, I'm going to chill on the Bellingham thing. So I think hopefully it still comes through. We're going to look absolute stupid, you know, if we don't sign him now. But I think there's too much gone into this right now for it not to happen. So, yeah, I'm going to chill on the old Bellingham thing. Also, I think it's a manoeuvre. It's a manoeuvre by Borussia Dortmund and Liverpool. I really do. I think their site already set up. I saw something on the Anfield Wrap about it today as well, talking about it, saying like it could be a strategic thing from Liverpool and Borussia Dortmund. They put that piece out, and you know things are in line. It's so Liverpool can get a good deal. They don't want any bidding war. Yeah, and don't forget that's remember here. Jurgen Klopp has never, ever, ever gone back to Borussia Dortmund to buy a player. You know, he's been at Liverpool almost 8 years now, and he's never gone back to Borussia Dortmund for a player. No, I think they should let us have this one. Big up guys in the chat. Big up Chris. Big up Gary. Hope you doing well. Big up Popeye. Hope you're doing well, man. Someone is apparently a wanker and a hookah. Yeah, okay. I mean, you spelt it with a capital A at the end. I mean, yeah, okay. Hope you're good, man. Hope you're good. Big up Pat-Man in the chat as well. Hope you're doing, Pat-Man. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you're doing well. It's a Klopp manoeuvre, Jamie. None of our Brazilians want to play friendlies. The story about Nunes' cut was also designed to stop him going to Japan and coming back with jet lag. Or is that where he was meant to be going and playing? Fuck that. No, you don't want him going all the way to Japan. Stuff that. Big up Pimp in Distress. My man, Pimp wants new owners, man. Pimp's angry. Pimp is going gangster. Big up, Pimp. Big up, Gang and Deep. How you doing well, man? All right, guys, I'm going to get people in the chat. I'm going to put the link in the chat right now if you like to come on and have your say. We're going to get the panel on. So I'm going to invite you all in now. And we're going to carry on where we finished the other day, guys. And have a great chat about the club. Who's in the wrong, who's in the right. Links in the chat right now, guys. Go and get on that. What I do, I pin it as well so you don't get it lost. So it's pinned in the chat as well. So yeah, once we get you all in, guys, we'll get you all on and we'll chat. So we've got Paul's down there, Mike's down there, John's down there. So we'll get everyone in a minute, guys, and we'll go chat everything about Liverpool Football Club, what you think's happening with the club right now, where you think the club's going wrong, who's at fault, who you'd like to sell, who you'd like to buy. We're going to go through that as well. I did it yesterday with the boys from the 8092 Res TV and Endsman. We did that yesterday. And, yeah, we're going to go through that again today, guys. All right? So once we've got everyone out, we want Albert, says Jamie Roach. Jamie's turned into a market. Mohammed, Arsenal fans have made me do it, man. They've made me do it. I've had enough, you know. I've had enough. I've gone down the City bandwagon now. Someone is getting sacked, surely. Big up Catherine in the chat as well. Catherine, are you a new subscriber? Because I saw you in the comments the other day as well. So big up to you. Right, let's get everyone in. Let's get Mike in, Paul, John, Jenny, Bruno, Dan, Albert. People, how are we doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Good. Oh, sorry about that Arsenal stuff. I had to get it off my chest.
I only just seen that like 20 minutes ago, so I don't even know like, too much about it.
It done my head in, man. Arsenal fans out of nowhere threw in here as well.
Usual, like.
Arsenal, who haven't even won the Champions League.
Yeah, so he basically said the Champions League is he said it's a glorified cup competition. And only no great teams have ever won it.
The last time they was in it, they got bumped 10-2 by Bayern Munich. Yeah.
Oh, it makes me laugh. Look, it's not all Arsenal fans either.
It's not all of them.
I love Arsenal fans. It's just a few of them that make me want to strangle them.
Listen, winning the Champions League is not for everyone. I'll just leave it there. It's just not for everyone.
No, it's not. It's not. Big up, Catherine. Thank you very much for subscribing as well. We appreciate it. So, guys, you've heard we'll go back to what we were chatting about the other day. Jude Bellingham, guys. So, Einstein did his article the other day. Apparently, you go back on it and read it now. It was an opinion piece. It's just his opinion. There's no facts in it, no fiction in it. Just his opinion. Then David Lynch brought out an article where he basically said, look, Liverpool are still in for Jude Bellingham. What he's hearing, he's got some information inside the club. So I'd rather go with someone like him than a David Einstein who said we're up for sale and lied to me. So, what do we think, guys? I'll start in Mike, go away through Paul, go in that order on the screen we are now, guys. And give me your thoughts on Jude Bellingham. And Mike, you go first.
Yeah, sure. I mean, he's obviously world class, and any team would benefit from the acquisition of a player like him. But at the same time, I think it's foolish to revolve everything around him. I think that everyone's been talking about it too much. And to be honest, I think everyone's been talking about new players too much, because I'm not even convinced that that's the proper solution, because last year when we were fully healthy, we were trying to play possession football and we were relying on moments of brilliance from Luis Diaz or Sadio Mane or Mo Salah. It wasn't like team-based football. And now we're seeing this year that being exposed because we're less healthy at the front. But regardless, I think Jude would be an excellent acquisition, but at the same time, by himself, not enough. And, I think that the bigger question here is the system that we're bringing him into and whether or not that's going to continue to work, if we need to change the way we're playing. Because, I don't believe in this possession football that we've tried, and I don't understand why we do it, because we score all of our goals from counters, and now all of a sudden we're trying to just hold the ball. And every time we hold the ball, we lose. Just look at all of our games. We have more possession than everyone in pretty much every loss. So, but anyway, sorry. Jude, great player. Would love to have him, but not the end of the world if we don't get him.
Paul?
I'm fatigued with all the whole. I am.
Same, mate.
Jude Bellingham is the whole saga is just doing my head in. I think we just need to. I think we need to move our priorities to players that are reasonably priced but are just as good or will be more effective, which can play that possession football. Yeah. I don't think Klopp's the right man either to take it forward either.
We'll get to that. We'll hold that. Put that
that'll be a whole nother subject altogether.
We'll hold that. Or Paul, we'll talk about that.
I think we should move on, unless we can get him for a lower price. If a miracle happens, we can get him for a reasonable price below 100 million, which is not gonna happen in this lifetime. The way that Dortmund do business.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Bruno, you're saying?
I think it's a lot of talking and no action. I think it's a load of garbage. I think FSG, I've said it on this show 100 times, this guy has got to go. I'm hearing a lot of reports that apparently he's not going to spend money in the summer. You're going to laugh at this. Because apparently his wife is having surgery. Like, what in the name of garbage is this?
I haven't heard that.
What in the name of garbage is this? If you can't do it, pack your bags and bring it back off to America. We're not flipping Derby County. We're not Millwall. We're not Plymouth Argyle, right? And also this whole thing about just getting this one player in, right? We could spend up to 300 million in the transfer market. So why in the name of garbage is he constantly making excuses in every transfer window? This midfield needs surgery. It needs improvement. Jordan Henson, gone. James Milner, gone. Naby Keita, leave. Right? I'm hearing reports that James Milner's getting a new contract. How long is he staying here? What, until he's 65? Right? What in the name of garbage is this?
It's a care home for old people, man. I tell you the way it's going.
Right? Right? Thanks for the memories, Milner, but you've got to go. We turned into Arsenal 2016-17. Like, what in the name of garbage is this? Right? And also, Klopp as well, I've said this 100 times. I have a feeling that this is down to him because he's not innocent in this. He's part of the problem. He's acting like Wenger. And if he doesn't start, then he can leave as well. I'm being serious. This guy can leave as well because he's acting like Wenger. He's acting like
We'll come to the Klopp stuff. We'll come to the Klopp stuff in a minute, Bruno. Albert, your opinion on Bellingham? Is Uncle Albert there?
He's not there. Where is he?
No.
If this is who I think it is, big up.
Yeah, Uncle Albert. I think Albert's passed out. Let's go to John. Your say, my man, on the old Bellingham stuff.
Yeah, like with Jude, it's like, of course, there's no doubt. Like he's a top player. He's a top class player. Even for his age, it's silly how talented he is. But I just feel like I'm on the same premise as the other guys. Like he's not the be all and end all. Like there's actually so many other midfielders that we could have got 3 years ago who are still balling out even now, or some who are not even getting as much game time as when they moved.
Albert's
so
back.
It's like, I don't mind if Albert can go if he wants. I don't mind. It's cool.
Hi guys.
Hey Albert, you alright, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. I was just listening, just eating a quick snack. Sorry.
He's watching adult movies.
Yeah, I think that the thing with the Brazilian players and Nunes, I think is a ruse. Klopp needs them on the 1st of April. He doesn't want them to go play.
Hang on, Albert. Before we get into all that, this is just a Bellingham, yes or no?
Oh, complete yes. I'm like, we've been strung along for 2 years. Why no? Yes, get him.
No.
Definitely. Others. The thing is, get him and others, not him or Mount. Right?
So,
we don't even want Mount.
What we'll do, we'll just go through the panel with Bellingham, and then we'll go open it up on players you want to come in. If it's not Bellingham or whatever, or players with Bellingham, and we'll chat about that as well. John, do you want to just finish your bit?
Of course, ideally, like even for me myself, like I would love Jude Bellingham to come, but it has to come. He can't be the only midfielder that we bring. Like there needs to be at least, me personally, I would say 3 more. Given that we get rid of we get rid of a couple, so that can make way for even more blood to come in the midfield. But I feel like even if we don't get Jude, there's so many other midfielders that are out there that can do the job. There's so many others out there. So I'll keep it short. I'll say yes to Jude in general, but he's not the be and end all. Trust me, he's not.
I agree. Dan, how you doing, my man?
Yeah, all good, Jamie. Yeah, for me, I think we will get Jude. But if we don't get Jude, the only way we get Jude is if FSG sell 10, 15, 20% of the club. That's the only way we get Jude. There's no other way. We're not selling out.
You get the fuck out.
Yeah, or sell. Yeah, that would be the best. But realistically,
well, one thing I will say, because I've got to do this myself, by the way, guys. You can swear, but don't say the C word and the F word. I've got to do that. Definitely not the N word, right? I've got to stop effing and blinding myself. So yeah, it's the new rules YouTuber brought in. Right, but carry on, Dan.
Yeah. So look, for me, if we don't get Jude, obviously the fans will riot, and that will really be a massive thing. Like I think if we don't get Jude, it's going to be huge for FSG because I think they'll really feel the pressure. But I mean, I just want to get. I mean, we can come around to this afterwards, but I want to get your guys' thoughts on Gavi because you look at the situation at Barcelona. Gavi will have to play for the next 2 years as a under 21, which he won't do. So if that does happen, what if I said we get Gavi and then like a Kone and a Declan Rice? Yeah, it's not Jude
Not
Bellingham,
Declan
but
Rice.
or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What we do, I'll come back to that question, Dan. It's a good question.
So for me, it's like Bellingham is like the holy grail, but if we don't get him, we have to get 3 top quality midfielders.
Yeah, definitely. Jenny, how you doing?
I'm okay.
Good.
I think we will get Bellingham. I think it will get cover. On Declan Rice, he will on Declan Rice.
Yeah, so you think Jude Bellingham will definitely come, yeah?
Yeah.
How much do you think we'll spend on Jude Bellingham, Jen?
150 to 130.
Okay. Fair enough. Thank you, Jen. Drew? Drew, are you there?
Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, not bad. Quick one. So I think Jude's gonna go City, and then when they announce him, we're gonna announce Mount.
I'm just getting rid of Drew. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm being serious. Yeah, I think City will get him, and then we will announce Mount straight after. Yeah, but just because I don't think we've got enough funds to get him, and
you have pissed Jenny right off now.
Yeah, but sorry about
man.
that. Yeah.
No, Drew, you need to get rid of the spirit of Baal, man. You've brought the spirit of Baal to this program today.
No,
get rid of that spirit.
I'm just being realistic, because you have to think as well. As much as we're fans, you also have to think about what you would do if you was a footballer in that position, to where you feel like your progression could go, like 100%. In your actual real life. And I think Jude also likes to play with actually playing ballers. That's just me. If you watch him, he's not he's not interested in pushing. What do we do? PMP, whatever I don't know.
Rock and roll football.
Pace and power.
Yeah.
Jenga press and nonsense. Jenga press.
I actually think in my heart that Jude is done with Liverpool. I think he's done. I think what they did was fly a kite. If I don't know whether you guys use that expression in the UK, like fly a kite, or maybe in this case, fly a hot air balloon, and the meltdown that came from the supporters will quickly change their minds. Like, let's just get this guy. Because for Chris Pajak to go off his rocker and fly those F words at FSG, that tells you how the supporters feel. I mean, we've been hanging on for 2 years. The Messiah was coming, right?
I know, but
and now you change you change the rules in the middle of the game, flip the script on us. The meltdown that came.
Albert, just think of it, yeah. If it's taken us two years, yeah, and we still haven't got him. Imagine it's taking us 2 years to buy a player that will possibly cost around 100 plus. I'm assuming 120. Yeah, come on, like.
Yeah, but we aren't going to pay that. You don't pay 120 million on the first day. It's not.
We'll get
to the debate real quick. I just want to get Liverpool 12th man his opinion as well.
Apologies.
Big up, my man. How you doing?
Great. Hello to the panel. Hello to the chat. I was just going to say, I think that Jude is a priority, and I think that being that we've been on the Jude train for 2 years or so now, it has to be something that happens. It is something that's big that needs to happen. It is, and I think that I think that JW, when he reached out and tried to get funding for Liverpool, he had that in mind, that the investment was going to go towards that because of once you look at the numbers and how the finances have been going on, he needed that extra help. And if anything, if anything, you know what? Like anything, when he sat in front of a camera and apologized to everyone for the Super Cup idea and all the other stuff, it's going to come down to him being a bigger man and reaching into his own pocket and possibly making the cash splash. And I think that that's what's going to happen.
All right. Here's a question for everyone on the panel. So, if Liverpool do not get Jude Bellingham, with the amount of, we've groomed the kid to death, and we don't get him right. FSG are getting a little bit of hate from, there's, I'd say there's a minority that hate FSG to a faction that they want them gone, and I think the hatred is building on FSG more and more at the moment. But
it's more than the minority.
It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger now. If FSG don't buy Jude Bellingham this summer, is that it for FSG?
No.
They're not leaving.
Yeah.
No.
What if they start?
Yeah.
Yes, in my opinion. Yes.
Because we haven't done protests at the ground yet. When protests, do you think we're starting to get more of the Anfield going crowd starting to turn on them more and more and more if we don't get Bellingham through the door?
If there's protests at the grounds before games and we're seeing banners back out, then there's more of a chance. But I personally believe if say we don't get Champions League football, and our form just dips, like kind of like say how Rodgers' tenure was at like the last bit of his tenure at Liverpool was, and we were just losing games, we were losing finals and whatnot. If it was that bad and they just sacked Klopp, then I'll say that's when the owners will be forced out, because obviously everyone loves Klopp. Like, if there's one thing we can agree on as a fan base, that everybody loves Klopp. Like, obviously me, like I want to change the manager, but we'll get to that obviously later on. But
you might be on the wrong panel, John.
I'll explain to everyone.
There's two of us. There's three of us. Yeah, three of us.
I'll explain my point. But yeah, that's the only reason I see FSG leaving is if they all of a sudden just say, you know what, we're cutting ties with Klopp, because that's when I think the fan base as a whole will galvanize. Even pundits.
Yeah, I agree.
That have that even this season have like not really gone in to criticize Klopp's decisions. They'll literally, everyone will make a fuss about it. So that's the only way I see FSG being forced out. But Jude, one signing, let's stay in.
No, I was going to get to that as well. So we know what do we reckon a Jude price is going to be? What do we reckon a Jude price is going to be?
It's going to be 100 plus add-ons.
120.
Yeah, I'm going to say spot bang 100.
150.
It's going to be at least
But
120.
they're going to charge us 150 stroke 160. Watch.
I think the biggest caveat is that there's
150
going
as
to be
well.
there's going to be other people involved, other clubs involved in the bidding, and that's going to impact
and
the
plus
final number.
And he's English as well.
But
so.
if the player says I only want to go to Liverpool, there's no bidding war like Chomeni did.
But Albert, it's unrealistic. Like you're talking.
You know what? There are some players who actually want to go to a specific club. There are some players who want to go to a specific club.
Albert.
I'm not saying
unless it's Real Madrid or Barcelona, that only counts for those two clubs.
Albert. This is the issue, yeah, Albert. Okay, go ahead.
I'm not saying that Liverpool are going to get him for 50 million. No, there's a there or thereabouts price. And I think that the reason why that David Ornstein thing even came up was to forestall that bidding war. The guy obviously wants to go to, you have to be sitting on the moon not to know that the boy wants to play for Liverpool. So if he wants to play for Liverpool within a certain reasonability, let's also not forget that Klopp was a manager of Dortmund. So the goodwill is there. If he wants to play for Liverpool only, it's going to be like 100 plus add-ons, going to about 120. And for me, if you amortize it over 10 years, that's £60, 60 million for 5 years, twice. That's not bad. And you see, Liverpool is the only team in the EPL that has a bank as their major sponsor. So why is anybody saying they can't find the finance to finance this thing? Of course they can.
Because Liverpool don't operate that way. And to be honest, we've got other issues at the club that we need to actually address in terms of other players. And I said this on the last show as well, is that we also have to be mindful that we're not the only. Well, there's other clubs that have more financial backing than us as well, that we are already way far behind. So just getting like, I'll be honest, Jude Bellingham, yeah, there's two ways. There's the football way of thinking about it, and then there's the way that's just like using your logical common sense. He's not blind, so he can look at the table and go, do you know what? These are the clubs that suit me more. These are the clubs to where I will fit more. And Liverpool is just not one of them at the moment, because if he comes in, I think it's very selfish for what is he now, 19? For 19-year-old to come and just because technically if we get him, I'm telling you, we're not getting anybody else. We're not.
Yeah, but there are players that are available on the free. Assuming all we have is Jude, there are fit players. We just talked about Edwin Rabiot, so I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, but Albert,
Liverpool is not as broke as people want it to sound.
I know we know the club is not broke, but it's about, are you willing? It's not about, are you broke?
Man, if you're a venture capitalist, the last thing you want is bad press.
Well, I mean,
the last thing you want is bad press.
The club does not want the value to be driven down, right? I mean, at the end of the day, if you just look at this from a totally financial perspective, they need the club to be successful, because if they're ever going to sell, they're going to sell high. They're not going to sell low, which is why I don't think protests would do anything. Just look at the Glazers.
Yeah.
Like, it's taking them. They postponed an entire game between Liverpool, and nothing really happened. People just kind of pissed and moaned. If FSG is going to sell this club, they're going to sell at a high point, and if they're going to get back to a high point, they're going to have to invest. It's something that I could see happening. Is they decide to invest more money into the club and then sell at a high point, because they are businessmen. That's what they want. They want profit.
This is the problem. This is the thing. Yeah, it's like this. I don't think where the club have left themselves wide open is everyone in the market, every club in the world knows that we are desperate for midfielders. So of course now they're obligated to up their price, even with Jude for Dortmund. But other players now, whether you like, say we're gonna go with Kone or whatnot, bro, they're within their rights to even bump up the price to make it difficult for us. So we've left ourselves short on that mark. So
that variable can be placed into anything. I mean, you can always have a variable that's going to make you say, "Oh, I'm going to try to use my leverage to get a higher price." Everyone wants to do that. Everyone tries to negotiate a price lower to a price that is more, applicable for the buyer. But realistically, there's so many variables. And this is something, having worked in this industry, there's so many variables that come into when you're trying to acquire a player. And it's different because, as an American, I believe Mike's an American too, the sporting world is different for us when it comes to NBA or an NFL and such, because it's just a trade to a trade. But yet when you're dealing with an actual football player in the case of Premier League, you have to deal with the family, whether the family likes you, the relationship with the coach. You have to deal with if the club that you're buying from wants to even settle on the price that you're asking for. What are all the perks that they're going to do? Branding for when the players going to actually come to the club that you're going to. Is it right for the actual player, the team, the system? All these things are weighed into it. It's not just a simple, oh, he likes the team, or oh, he's a supporter, or oh, he's this or that. There's tons and tons of variables that get weighed into it. I don't know all the variables that have weighed into Jude's mind as to whether come to Liverpool or not, but I know that as long as we set up as long as Klopp and LFC set up the right atmosphere, and us as fans as well, set up the right atmosphere that makes it an applicable place for him to come, I believe he will come, because we have a great upside, a great history, a great heritage, and those things are important, especially to an English player, to come to one of the most historic English teams, period.
What? So if we don't get Bellingham, we need free midfield. Say FSG look at it and go, right, we know you want Jude Bellingham, but we're looking at it now and going, you need free midfielders. So we're going to spend 120 million on free midfielders instead of buying one. Would you be guys all right with that?
Yeah.
What about if it was this guy? What about if one of them was this guy on the screen right now?
No.
It would totally depend on who is doing the signing. If it's Jurgen Klopp's talent ID, then absolutely not. Under no circumstance would I allow him to spend more than 20 million. But if we had an actual sporting director in there who was in this for the long run and had a vision and would force Jurgen to accept decisions, then yes, I think 120. You could get 4. I think 3 is low for 120.
Yeah, hold the presses out. I've heard the rumor that apparently we're talking to Paul Clement. Was it Paul Mitchell from Monaco?
Paul Mitchell, yeah. Paul Mitchell.
Yeah. There are rumors that he might be coming in. Yeah.
Actually, Jamie, I have a question.
But I just read that they said Klopp said he doesn't want him.
He wants the Salzburg guy, from what I've seen.
But that's
Klopp, it should be up to Klopp anyway. It's like your employee trying to choose your employer as your next.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true. So the rumor is that Liverpool have been looking at Paul Mitchell now for a while. They like what he does. He's got very good talent ID. He brought Mane to Southampton and players like that. He looked at Tuchemeni. He brought Tuchemeni to Monaco. He's got great talent ID at finding great young talent at a good price. Now if we're talking about the owners that we got, that is the sort of sporting director we should probably be going for, right?
There's a lot of
Can I just ask you a question? Yeah. So the year that we got Van Dijk, who else came through in terms of the our top players like Alisson, Salah, and Mane?
Fabinho, Shaqiri.
Fabinho.
I think Fabinho and Shaqiri. That was that big summer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got Virgil in the winter, didn't we? In the January.
Yeah.
And in the summer we went and got Ali,
Alisson,
Shaqiri, Fabinho. There's one more I can't remember.
Could have got for care, but
yeah, we all know it was for care.
I ain't gonna touch on that. I still can't believe he done the interview and oh god.
Yeah, Fekir would have been brought in with them all as well. That's mad.
I'm telling you right now, we would have won the league if he was confirmed.
Okay, but Jamie, then did we already have Salah and Mane or one of them? After?
We already had Salah and Mane, yeah.
So basically, just because obviously
Bellingham and 3 others, that's good. But if they just give us Bellingham, then unfortunately, no, thank you very much. 270 million in the summer, or you can sell the club straight away. Because I'm not having these pathetic excuses. And none of this percentage is rubbish. None of this percentage is rubbish. If you're going to sell the club, I want the club to be fully. £4 billion on the table. Sell the club.
I think FSG are waiting for Man United to be sold.
Yeah, I agree.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I think they're waiting for Man United.
Well, they don't have long to wait. They can start selling tonight.
Jamie,
I've heard there might be
Hang
a
on, guys.
twist
One at a time. One at a time.
Jamie, I think there might be a twist and wholesale thing anyway. I don't think it's over. I think they're waiting until the situation at United's changed and see what happens there.
Yeah,
That's how much United gets sold for. If it gets sold for a lot, then they might be up for a sale.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I really don't want to live in a world. I don't want to live in a world where the Qataris own Manchester United and we have FSG. Because it will be
it's unbearable. I agree, Albert.
That would be harsh.
Yeah, it will be like slavery.
It will be reality. Unfortunately, it's real. It will be reality.
Jamie, just one thing to the Jude Bellingham, just because obviously in the chat, I know a lot of people were talking about Van Dijk, like comparing the Jude thing to the Van Dijk situation in terms of when he arrived and obviously where we was, like what position we was in with the club at the time. But again, the reason why I'm just like, I know somebody else said, oh well, why why is he talking like as if Liverpool or like Everton or buying these players from like lower quality clubs? But like the players we have now aren't on the same level of the players we've had previously. So that's what I'm talking about in terms of now we don't have a Mane. As much as I don't care if any of you guys didn't like him, but we don't have a Mane. Fabinho's he's not playing as well as he used to. Salah, yes, he's scoring goals, but he's not the same anymore. Firmino's leaving. Henderson, Milner is aging. A lot of the players have made the cut, like Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott doing his thing every now and then, I guess. So like the club isn't doing as well as it used to be. So that's why for me, I'm like, look, from a player's perspective, I can't see Jude being like, yeah, this is the club I'm going to because I can see this club doing well.
But my counterpoint to you would be, as a competitor, would you want to go to a team that's going to win without you? Because let's be real, adding Jude Bellingham is not going to just completely change Man City. They're already winning. I mean, they added Erling Haaland, and they're still in contention for the Champions League and the Premier League, if we're going to be real. So would you rather go to a team that is going to win regardless of whether or not you join them, or would you rather go to a team that might not win, but you could potentially build something greater for your legacy? Again, I'm just playing devil's advocate here, but
it's the same as going to Real Madrid, like or Barcelona. Most likely they'll win with or without you. So, but I just think it's the matter of, do you want to join I get it, Man City is not as prestigious as other clubs, but do you want to join a club that already has a vision of winning multiple titles after titles after titles? Just because, again, like, I just feel like if anyone was a footballers, we probably would either go to Man City or probably Man. I don't know, Man U maybe, because of, again, if they're getting new investors. If any of us were Jude, would you really come Liverpool, or would you rather go to Man City or Man U?
I will go to Liverpool.
I think everyone here is way too biased.
How about?
Or Real Madrid. Sorry, or Real Madrid.
No, you see, with the Real
true.
Madrid thing, right? You guys realize that if you've been watching Real Madrid of late, even Tchouaméni is on the bench now. And if you are Jude, it should bother you, because you're going to enter a hornet's nest with stars, right? Camavinga all of a sudden has taken Tchouaméni's place, and Tchouaméni's on the bench. He comes in the 78th minute.
Football, Albert. That's football. I'm sorry.
Exactly. But he should know. He should know that if he comes to Liverpool, he's a starter. I mean, I don't want to mention.
Yeah, but
his
you're
name.
starting in a bad team, mate.
No. Our team is
you're starting in a bad
come
team,
on, guys.
a great
Come
team.
on, guys.
No,
this is Liverpool. This is Liverpool. Come on, man. We are having
Albert,
challenges.
you know what's funny? Albert, you know what's funny? You remind me of my friend Bossman from down the road. He's also a Liverpool fan, but do you know what he said to me? He very much says, obviously, again, he's an older gentleman, but he very much says that he knows that Liverpool aren't doing as well, but he's just happy enough that Liverpool have been competing over the past few years, because we haven't done it in such a long time. And I think that a lot of fans are in that mindset, and I think FSG knows that.
Yeah, they need to raise their standards.
Yeah.
They do, man.
This
We
is-
have
this is
standards.
problem.
We're not losers. We're not there
I've
just to
lived
be
through the
making
really good
numbers.
times in Liverpool. I've lived through the really bad times. I've lived through the not so good times. Liverpool is a team with a storied history. We have
can't live in that
pedigree, we
forever,
have
man.
heritage.
Sorry.
We will. I mean, just last year. I mean, sometimes I say this, and I'm very upset that we are where we are. I mean, Jamie knows all the Liverpool 12th man. We've had our issues with where we are now, but just last year, like Liverpool 12th man always says, last year we were not having this conversation. So Liverpool.
Don't do that, Albert.
No, I'm not gonna have that. Mate, I'm not having this. I'm not having that.
mate.
I'm not having it.
But that's true.
I was having this
I'm not having
conversation.
that.
Don't be
No,
like Jamie
that's true,
Carragher and
though.
all these pundits
Don't do
talking
that.
about, oh, we nearly won the quadruple, we nearly
Listen,
won this, we
that's
nearly
true,
won
though.
that.
You see,
No.
when we talk, some
Sorry.
of us who
I am a
said
winner.
Klopp,
I win
some of us who
everything.
said Klopp should leave were chewed out because we were told that you don't appreciate what Klopp has done for us. Now
I
we're
don't
saying,
care what they
okay,
think.
we should rebuild. The same guy is at the helm. So what we all of a sudden we're saying that, oh, Liverpool is so bad that Jude doesn't want to come to Liverpool. Well, let's wait and see. I mean, I think Jude is done, but let's wait and see. Maybe I'm wrong.
That's fine, but I'm just saying that.
I just want to say.
Whoa. One at a time.
That's fine, but I
True,
just
John. True.
I think we need to move on from the we nearly won 4, 3, 6, 50
Yes,
cups.
I've moved on from
That mindset, there's no winning mentality. You can't
Right,
compare
come
our
on.
mindset as a fan base to the likes of even still Man U or the likes of Man City or Real Madrid or Barca. They all
We
expect
need to have
high
that been set. We had that in the 80s.
Wait, Man United, the
can I
team
just
that
ask-
we just charged 7-0.
100%, Albert. Albert, this is the same team. This is the same team that absolutely ripped off the 90s and the early 2000s. But
Can I ask
that is what you call a dynasty. We've never had a dynasty. Even I'm 26 years old. I've never seen.
You've never
I've
lived
never
through it.
ever seen.
No.
I've never-
Don't
You've
say we never
lived
had
for
a
the dynasty.
dynasty.
You never lived for the
Yeah.
70s,
You weren't
80s.
That's
That's
fake.
right.
Yeah, that's not
in
true.
the early
Well,
90s. Don't say
Yeah.
we've never had a dynasty.
I
You
know.
weren't around
Exactly.
in the 80s and the
You
early
weren't.
This is
90s.
okay. This is what I'm trying. This is what I'm
I
trying to
mean,
say.
he's
This is what I'm trying to
26.
say.
What do you want him to do?
Right,
Travel
but
back?
Exactly.
no, but it's not asking you to travel back in time. But the fact is, you're now saying to people that have lived through that history to say, forget about it. And
No,
that's
I'm
one
saying
thing.
don't dwell in
And,
it. That's
and
different.
not only dwell in it, it's more so appreciate it and try to pass it on that heritage and that enriched land and that understanding of what we've built and what we are and this great team that we are, that can be passed on to people that come after us. Those things aren't things that we say, oh, well, it happened, who cares? That diminishes the fact of what you've built up. That's all we're trying to get. That's what some of us older people are trying to get across to a younger fan base as well. That's all. We're not trying to be disrespectful, and we're asking for you not to be disrespectful to the older group of Liverpool supporters. That's all we're trying to get across. And also, I wanted to just something that was said earlier, and I was just trying to get it in. When we were talking about, well, a player coming from Dortmund and or as in Jude, ask Sancho how he's feeling being at Manchester United. Tell me how that decision, because he was like the big, ticket price transfer for Dortmund before Haaland, at least. Okay, tell me how Sancho was feeling, riding bench, getting all the criticism that he's getting, looking miserable. Tell me how he's feeling on a Manchester.
Add Calvin Phillips being called fat by Pep.
They're still better than us. So
Was Calvin Phillips brought in to start for City? Yes or no?
Still better than us.
The Calvin Phillips thing is
currently
weird.
better than us. Okay,
Calvin Phillips was a weird transfer.
I still think we're so overblown on Jude. Like I still think that like
exactly
it's just one player, you know, and like we've been dragged on for 2 years, and like I get it. Everyone wants to make a big move. We want to sign a big player, but at the same time, there's so much more to it, right? And there's so much being ignored because everyone's so tunnel visioned on Jude right now, especially after that opinionated piece that just got us all of our panties in a twist. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, even if we do get Jude, and let's say we get Kone and we get Ugarte, and for some reason they spend 200 million pounds, right? They shock everyone. John W. Henry pulls out $100 million because he can, right? Because he's allowed to. You know, do we think that is going to work? Like, do we think that that's all we need? If you kind of get what
I mean, are you saying that in a hypothetical, when we get Jude, Ugarte, and Kone?
Well, I'm just saying, like let's just.
Oh hell yeah, it works.
No, again, you know, I don't know, because last year when we scored 93 points, there were still times where I was like, we're really not that good. Like, we're relying on just subtle subtle moments of brilliance from specific individuals. I mean, just look at Luis Diaz versus Tottenham and Crystal Palace last year. Look at what we did in the final. Like, every single chance we had was a moment of brilliance that was saved by another moment of brilliance.
Mike, you see what you're saying, yeah? Mike, hold on, bro. Mike, you see what you're saying, yeah? I think a lot of that also comes into when you see. Remember when Liverpool, like the fans would get so excited, when the game finishes 4-3. And they're like, oh my gosh, we've scored all these goals. We've scored all these goals, and it's 4-3 and it's 5-4. It's just like that. It's like, because it's so entertaining, people are making like the wins and how we play like way, like they're blowing out like way bigger than what it really is. Like, I'm sorry, winning a game 5-4 to me is not great. It's just not. Because we clearly can't defend. But for some reason, to fans that don't really think about it too deeply, it's like, oh my gosh, we've scored 5 goals, entertaining, end to end, back and forth, rock and roll. Yes, we're so great. Like, no, like defensively, I'm sorry, I think defensively next season, this Garvey doll, whatever his name is, Barbie doll, like, he's gonna cost like what, 100 something plus.
Did you say Barbie doll?
He's done me though. He's done me with Barbie doll.
Garvey doll. I was playing Garvey doll, but whatever his name is. But he's gonna cost at least 100 something. Jude is going to cost 100 something. I'm still not convinced with Gakpo and that attack. I don't know how Diaz is going to fare. We still have a lot of issues in other places, because I think going forward, we're not going to be scoring 6 goals a game anymore. We're just not.
Well, I mean, 100% agreed. And I mean, I think everyone can agree. Yeah. I mean, we all know that we need new players, but at the same time, it's like,
and then we lost 1-0 this game after. Come on.
Okay. And we also we scored like 9 goals against Bournemouth.
And then we lost to Manchester United.
And then we lost.
Right.
We had an up and down year, but that's not.
We got to move it on a little bit. Let's talk about players leaving the midfield area because we need to buy midfielders in, right? And we need midfielders obviously to vacate that area to bring new blood in. Now we know Ox is leaving and Naby's leaving. I'm not sure if Milner's leaving. Right, quick yes or no through the chat. Will Milner be a part of the Liverpool squad next season, Mike?
Yeah.
Paul?
Yes.
Bruno, Paul, you there?
Yeah.
Will Milner be part?
He shouldn't be, but he's going to be. He's 38 years old. We're going to keep him.
I say yes, he will, but I don't want him there though.
Yeah, Paul says yes.
Yeah, he's gonna be. I mean, I always tell you, Jamie, that we can discuss what we want and what Klopp is gonna do. We can have both discussions. We don't want him there because we think he's too old. We think he should be moved on. But Klopp wants him there. He's gonna be there.
John?
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's the most depressed year I've ever had him.
I mean, to be honest, he really should be at most doing his coaching badges or coaching the under 18s or something. But yeah, I think he'll sign.
Dan?
Yeah, he will. For homegrown reasons, we'll keep him around. And I just want to say as well, like everyone, I've heard so many Liverpool fans say, sell Curtis Jones, sell Henderson, sell, Ox is leaving, sell Milner, sell Joe Gomez. You do realize that all of these players we just named are British. Like we can't have a squad of only foreign players. Like it's not going to happen, right? So that's we have to keep some balanced opinions over here. So yes, Milner will stay. Yeah, he will stay.
Jenny?
Yeah.
Jenny says yeah. Drew?
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, I think Milner should actually be one of the fitness coaches because he's fit. The guy can run for hours.
He's in shape.
100%.
And 12th man?
Absolutely, he'll be here.
Yeah, I think Milner will be here. So if Milner's going to stay, that means Hendo's going to stay. Jesus. Ox and Naby are leaving, not because we want them to leave, it's just because they don't want to sign new deals. So they're out the door. Who else? We know Milner's staying.
I pray to God Fabinho leaves.
Realistically,
I'm with you, Mark.
Everyone in the chat, I want you to just and in the chat, give me your names. Everyone on the panel, let's just debate about it. Who in our midfield should leave and not be part of the 23-24 season? Go for it. Whoever wants to go first.
Wait, is that excluding Milner and Thing, or is...
So we know Milner's probably going to stay. We know so Milner's going to stay. We know that one. Everyone else is probably up in the air. Go for it.
That's so unfair, man. I want them.
Get rid of Jones and get rid of Fabinho. Those are the main two.
I think Curtis Jones goes on loan for the reasons of the homegrown. I think he goes on loan. I think Tyler Morton comes back, and and we get two midfielders. In an idealistic world, and I don't want Drew to eat me up on this. I think we get Jude. I think we get Jude +2, and those two for me will be Ugarte and Kefren Turam or Manukone.
Wait, which Turam? The younger one?
I want to get rid of Fabinho.
Yeah, Kefren is the younger one.
Henderson, and Elliott.
But if we get rid of Englishmen, right? Because almost all of the people who need to go are English. Why don't we just go out and just sign a bunch of? I mean, I might be totally ignorant here, but why don't we just pull a FIFA and just sign a bunch of $1 million 35-year-old Englishmen and just stick them on the bench for the whole season?
No,
yeah, I mean, there's our midfield
guys are part of the homegrown. The lone guys are part of the homegrown.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
Right, here's our midfield guys. Fabinho, Thiago, James Milner, Ox, this is so sad. Jordan Henderson, Naby Keita, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott.
Keep Arthur Melo. Keep him. Sign him.
No, I mean,
6-year deal.
Hey, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if that happens, man. This is Liverpool.
Yeah.
I don't think Marshmallow stays.
Do you know when other fan channels have discussions about the worst flop of the season, they don't even fucking mention, sorry for the F word, Arthur Melo, because they don't even remember him because no one's seen him play.
No.
I mean, I might be alone here, but I would be happy to sell Thiago.
Yeah.
So I
would.
disagree.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we were just as uncreative all of last year with him in. We were just as uncreative this year with him in, and I think that you could still get a decent amount of money for him and go out and buy, you know, someone who's younger, fresher, more fit, who can play in the same position. And it, honestly, I think
he is creative.
could come down, and that doesn't matter to me. Thiago
It
played.
does to me.
Again,
Thiago has been
It's
so
a
injury
fundamental
riddled
issue.
and so
I don't want
uncreative.
runners in my team.
Paul, this is the thing, though. Paul, this is the thing. The way Klopp sets his midfielders to play, he doesn't play creative players in the create. He doesn't say to Thiago, like, put it this way.
Maybe he needs to start to learn.
Now, put it this way,
job.
Put it this way. Paul, put it this way. This is the reason why I want Klopp out. It's like he brought in Thiago to all of a sudden convert him to be a prime Mascherano, something that he's not used to doing.
He's not used to, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why.
That's what he's done to Curtis Jones. That's what he's done to many other players.
Do you think that Klopp and when the players brought in, do you think they don't have discussion, actual sit down, a talk, a discussion? Do you think the agent and all doesn't have actual discussions as to what are you going to be, how you're going to use me, what kind of role you're going to play, all these different things?
Sure.
No, I'm asking because like apparently we don't. Or at least
no.
someone on the panel don't.
Okay. I can tell you from personal experience. I've got four professional footballers. One of them you actually probably know. Carlon Grant that played for for West Brom. Well, obviously he's still there. Yeah. And when I speak to him, yes, they do have discussions. And another one of my friends, like he's a striker for Swindon Town. Yes, they do have discussions. But when you're actually playing, and as time goes on, things change. So yes, you have all the discussions you want.
Life, understandable.
Yes, I know, but the way you're saying it. But I'm saying the way you're saying is like, oh, so what? It sounds like you guys are saying like they're not having discussions about these things. Thiago doesn't fit our style.
Well, no, I'm saying that there was a discussion to say if Thiago had a discussion with Klopp and he's like, oh well, you play a gegenpress and we want you to be like Ginny, and Thiago's like, oh, I could do that. Then that's on Thiago to step up to that role. But there's nothing like that going on.
What I'm saying is that all players will say.
What I'm saying is that.
I'm saying all players will say yes. All players will say yes, I can do it. Yes, like do you get? All players will say it's like applying for a job, even though you don't have much experience. But then when you're like in that role, but then when you're in the interview, like I can do it. Yes, I know I can do it. I've got a little bit of this and that.
But why would you? As a player, why would you? You know these players. I know players as well. I've represented players as well.
That's what people do. That's what
I'm trying to get across is that you don't sit there and say, if I'm Thiago and they've got the history that Thiago has, the credibility that he has, that he can go pretty much anywhere he wants. He's not going, oh, I'm going to lie on this interview or I'm going to tell him something that doesn't fit me so that I can come and fail. That doesn't make sense.
No,
Stop.
He's not lying, though.
Tell me you don't understand that conception. He's lying. Who's lying? Klopp or Thiago?
I'm saying he's not like saying you can do something. It's not lying. You're just saying, yes, boss. Yes, I know. I think in myself, yes, I can deliver. Yes, I can do this. But Thiago's a techie style player. There's a reason why he was at Barcelona, even though he wasn't for that long. He doesn't.
Would you do that? I'm going to ask you. Would you do that? Then you're saying that if you're a player or you're a player friends, would you say that you can do this role? You can fill this role just to get on this team. That's what I'm asking. I'm just asking a question.
Yeah, but saying yes or no will not determine you to get on the team. I'm saying people do it all the time.
Okay.
It's like hiring. It's like hiring people to come and build your house, and they're going to be like, yeah, I promise I can do it to the best standard. I promise I can do this. But then when they do it, it's like, doesn't look as good.
Why? Because you've seen the other houses that they've done. You're going to use a. That's not even a good comparison. What I'm trying to get across is that when you have a player that knows his ability, knows what he can do, knows what he can bring to the table, he's going to have his own best interest at hand as the focal point. And when it comes to knowing that he's going to go into a club that doesn't fit his style of play, he's not going to say, yes, that's where I want to go. He's going to go to a club. He's going to go to a club that he wants to be a part, and he knows that he can achieve his talents as well.
There's many players at Liverpool that don't fit us, don't fit our playing style. Chamberlain, Naby Keita, Harvey
There's,
Elliott to an extent.
but there's also
Valio.
parts and points that players know that they can actually be utilized, and if anything, just as you said earlier, some players think they can adapt or they can become that player, or maybe that's the player they want to be, or maybe they believe that this coach can bring out something that no other coach has. The same way people go, oh, Pep can do wonders with this player because he does this. Stop and think about what you're saying.
I agree with your last point, but the thing is with these current crop of players, like the likes of Jones, Naby, even Harvey.
I'm not trying to defend those players.
But these specific players, these men are techie with the ball. You get what I'm saying? So they're not the ones where you want to ask them to do like I said, like a Javier Mascherano job, which is ultimately what like Klopp is getting these players to do. You get what I'm saying? Like it's almost like it's almost like as if like say I guarantee you if Coutinho was still here, he wouldn't be balling out the way like he left before he left.
Yeah, not in this system. No way.
Not in this system at all.
Way.
You get what I'm saying? So that's why that's why Thiago. That's why me personally, I can't understand why Thiago was brought in, because ultimately we've sold Genie, who was a hard-working box-to-box midfielder, done all-round midfielder, and you brought in Tech Man.
Like
I tried Drew and John. I tried to make this point before earlier because there's not.
Let him make his point.
We say that we don't. We bring him in, but you got to understand that the player has a say in where he goes. So when we say, "Hey, do you want to come to Liverpool?" That's cool. We can give him all the money in the world if you want, or set up or say we'll play this or that way, whatever. We can do whatever we like to do or say. But the point is, the player has a role in where he goes. We're acting as though Thiago was just like we kidnapped Thiago and brought him to Liverpool and forced him to play this role that he's uncomfortable with or unable to.
Wait, what does Thiago having to come to Liverpool have to do with
I'll
playing
see you next time.
What's that?
Okay.
I'm saying, what does Thiago having free will to come to Liverpool have to do with the playing style that just doesn't fit him? The same as like Klopp has a history of buying players and then just putting them in certain, like Curtis Jones, wasn't he like a left winger, and now all of a sudden he's meant to be what is he? Like
I have no idea what he is.
Like Curtis Jones is just shit.
Right. I disagree. He's a good player.
But before we move on, I'm just trying to argue the fact that there are sometimes. I'm just trying to argue the fact that despite the fact that you might play a position, sometimes you can adjust to or adapt to another role. That's like saying Bobby Firmino was never meant to be a false nine. He wasn't a false nine before that, really. But when he came to this club, he became one of the best false nines in the world under Klopp.
Firmino was kind of just playing like a cam type of wish, but but either way, it's like Oxlade Chamberlain as well. It's the same thing when he was at Arsenal. 1 minute he's a right winger, then he wants to be a Yaya Toure powerhouse. Then he comes to Liverpool, then he's playing back on the right wing, then he's playing powerhouse. Like Thiago's style, doesn't fit Liverpool because we don't play techie football. And somebody like if you ever watch Thiago in Bayern Munich, he's not going to be running up and down left, right, and center. That's not his style.
It's
not his style.
Right. Before we carry on, I want to bring up probably the most split Liverpool player in this midfield is like Harvey Elliott. So a lot of people like him, a lot of people hate him, Paul.
Yes, I am. I admit it.
There's a lot of people who are very split on Harvey Elliott. For me, I think he's a decent player. Jurgen Klopp seems to absolutely love him. It looks like he's his pet project. I think he's the only player in our team that has been involved in every game this season. I know people keep saying to me, Jamie, when Liverpool buy more midfielders, Harvey Elliott won't be seen again, and this sort of thing.
I hope so.
But is that actually the case under Jurgen, or does Jurgen actually rate Harvey more than probably our fan base does?
Possibly, 100%.
Definitely.
Harvey is the perfect example as to why Jurgen does not have talent ID, in my opinion.
Yes.
Like Harvey, I mean, not to number one, he's playing Harvey out of his natural position. Harvey is a forward. He's playing him as a midfielder. he has had good games in midfield. He was fantastic in the second half of the United game. He's had other times over the last 2 years where he's been excellent. He started last year incredibly before the injury against Leeds, which I'll give him the credit for. But at the end of the day, it's a project that isn't working. Putting a player in a position where he isn't able to live up to the expectations of Jurgen Klopp, and that's where I think the real problem is Klopp's idea of what the players can do and what the players actually can do, which is the system, which is what I was trying to say at the beginning of the show. It's about the system, not about the players. But again,
No,
I'm a little bit biased.
That is the very reason why he should not be choosing a director of football or being in charge of recruitment. He has no idea of RD.
I think we are all agreed that Klopp shouldn't be choosing, the director of football. But unfortunately, the owners have given him so much power to hide their own inadequacies and ineptitude. So I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Like I said the other day on this calling, I said that our owners don't know shit from Chinola. Otherwise, why would our owner not be present in the stadium when Manchester United and Liverpool are playing? It's the biggest match in club football. End of story. Why wouldn't he be there? Because he doesn't even know. He doesn't know the difference between offside and own goal. So he doesn't know. But if I were the owner of Liverpool and there's a match at Anfield between Manchester United and Liverpool, I'm there. I'm the first person in the stadium that day. I'm greeting supporters. I'm waving to the crowd. I'm doing whatever I need to do. I'm sitting in the dressing room talking to my players. Even Todd Bowley.
I agree.
Todd Bowley has learned
Albert,
to do that.
You know what I'd do? I'd put Linda in the most cleavage dress you can possibly find, right? And just have,
exactly.
have her on your arm constantly, because no one is going to boo you when you got your wife's tits out. You know what I mean? That's what he should be doing.
And she actually looks as good as Linda does. You know what I'm saying?
Todd Bowley was caught playing like video games on his phone at the Chelsea Dortmund game. At least he was in the stadium playing the video games in front of his team.
Man, you don't know that he was playing video phones. He was sending mobile money. He was sending mobile money to the teams he owes, man.
Are you telling
me he might have been doing that? But
you're telling me he had his Western Union app on? Is that what he was
exactly?
He's been at every game. He's been at every single game.
He's playing Raid Shadow Legends. By the way, if they want to sponsor the channel, you sponsor everyone else.
I am done.
Yeah, I got you.
Right, let's talk about another midfielder. I believe I've been saying about his downfall even last season, and people had to go at me last season, but I said I saw it coming. One Fabinho, who's probably not really 29, as I keep saying, he's 38 and he's Peruvian. John's gone. What are we saying about Fabinho? Because I hate the fact that people say Fabinho looks good when you get legs round him, right? It makes him look better. But I don't want my DM to be carried. I want my DM to carry the team.
That's it.
I wanted to go, Jamie.
Jen's out straight out there. She wants to
she's like, get him out.
I mean,
yeah, I'm with you. Go on, guys. What do you reckon, Fabinho? What we doing?
So
I don't know if I would sell him, because if you look at the games where he played the best in, he's played the best in the biggest games this season. And what have we done in the biggest games this season? We have not tried to play possession football. And when we don't try to play possession football, Fabinho shows up.
Even in the best games, he's been the worst player on the pitch for us.
But
even
Jamie,
in the best games.
didn't you then also say the same thing about Trent, to where Trent is also a carrier though? Like, unless you've got
Trent gets carried at right back. I've
100%, yeah. But I mean, like, who are you going to replace him with? I mean, if you get Jude Bellingham, you need to get a 6. If you get rid of Fabinho next year, who is playing?
I got a replacement.
Man, I'm going for Ugarte, man.
Well, yeah, I would love him. But are they going to buy him?
Playing twice. I've seen that guy playing twice, and I'm a convert. I like my 6 to be the guy who brings down somebody with a minute to go to the match, and he knows he's getting a red card, and he just walks off. That's exactly what
South Americans could do that for you, man. Trust me.
Yeah,
no,
bring Ugarte.
100% agree.
He's a red-blooded.
Let me read out this.
Sorry.
Let me just read out this super chat.
Yeah, go ahead.
Big up Morsheen with the super chat. Appreciate it. In my personal opinion, we need 5 signings in the summer, 3 midfielders, a right back, and a right wing backup. Does everyone agree with that?
Yeah.
Ideally, yeah.
No centre back.
Center back over right wing, but yeah.
Yeah.
Is Harvey Elliott? Is Harvey Elliott your right winger?
No.
Would you be happy? Would you be happy
No.
if Harvey Elliott played 20 minutes here and there as a substitute for Mo Salah?
Sure.
No.
No.
There's nothing good about Harvey Elliott. If we
Wait,
think about
actually,
it, guys.
no,
Really. Like, what is
Can
he
I
good
ask the
at?
panel?
What is
Yeah.
he
So,
good at?
who do you guys think is faster, Harvey Elliott or Bernardo Silva?
Bernardo Silva.
Is it by a lot?
Yeah.
I think it's by a lot, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
No, probably not.
Harvey ain't got burners like that.
Yeah, but he's not Bernardo Silva. He's just not that techie.
I don't know if Bernardo's much quicker than Harvey.
That's what to me, I kind of see Harvey in a way where like Harvey kind of like not like a Mahrez, but more like in the type of, because for me, Mahrez and Bernardo Silva, they're not the fastest wingers on the world. They're not the typical pacey wingers that are gonna burn you out. That's not happening. And I feel like Harvey Elliott fits into that category, but he's not like the forward going type player. He's very much like, oh, I don't want to mess it up, so let me just cut back and pass.
And that's my problem.
I was just about to say that I've never seen Harvey Elliott go forward and beat a player. Those other two you mentioned will take you on and they'll beat you.
Yeah.
No. I am
on.
completely adding when it comes to Harvey Elliott, but I don't want to be the person to start putting down a 19-year-old, because that's not what I should be doing, right?
No.
I encourage him, but I don't know
like
how else to say how I really feel about him. But to put it mildly, I think he's a squad player, at least for now.
You know what, Albert? I like him, and I think it's, to me, when I see left-footed ballers that are like small, nimble, and I've seen Harvey. He's got the agility, he's got the techiness, but it's like he's not using it. He's very much still thinking about what he's doing. See, Bernardo
because
Silva,
his manager limits his ability.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Is Klopp coaching the technical side out of his game?
Yes,
I think partly it is.
Yeah, but if we were to get 3 midfielders and a center back and a right back, right? Like, let's say we filled all of those holes, you're going to tell me that you would still have a problem with putting Harvey as a backup to Mo, who honestly plays every single game, pretty much the full 90 minutes, every single week.
I would have a problem with that.
Yes, because you have to change the whole system, because he can't run. He can't go past the player. He's not great at shooting, and he's not great at creating chances. What is he good at, actually? Like, you have to change the whole system around him. You can't just throw him on the right wing and expect him to do a job.
If Harvey was more willing to go forward and take more risk, and just be shooting and all that type of stuff, then I'll be like, yes, go for it. But until you have unlocked that type of mentality, I don't really want you playing like that.
Drew, you know why I agree with you? Remember the Real Madrid match when he had an open chance to fire and goal, and he passed on it,
and he saw
Klopp's reaction, right? Did you see Klopp's reaction?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but Klopp is the very person who is coaching his natural instincts out of him. So
let me tell you right now,
I was wondering why you complaining. This is what you're teaching the guy to do.
If Liverpool were to get Pedri and Gavi, best believe Klopp would tell them, don't be doing all this dribbling and stuff. He'd be telling them, don't be doing all this. No.
Yeah, that's why I don't want any of them to come to Liverpool.
Yeah,
that's why Klopp needs to leave, bro. That's why Klopp needs to leave, bro.
It's why we need a system change.
One more question, and then I'm going to move on to the big topic. So, obviously, there's been a lot of rumours with Mason Mount. Apparently, there's another rumour coming out today that Mason Mount and Chelsea are just going to part ways. It's done. Is Mason Mount Liverpool's first transfer of the summer?
No.
Or even
I
even part of the summer transfer?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'll become a Leeds United fan if that's the case.
Unfortunately, guys, I think Mason Mount is also done.
I think
if we get Bellingham.
If we get Bellingham, are you okay with Mount coming with him?
Yeah.
If we get Bellingham,
I will be.
No Chelsea rejects at my club.
I'm okay with adding a crab to Bellingham. I'm okay.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
no
want
Chelsea
it. But...
rejects on my club.
Paul, we had Sturridge. He was all right.
That's a one-off, Jamie. You know
Mohamed Salah
You
is
know
the
that.
Chelsea reject. I mean, Mohamed Salah left Chelsea, went to
I know
Roma.
what Paul's meaning. It's all good. Right, let's go on to the big topic. And this season, who is at fault for Liverpool this season?
The medical staff.
Ooh,
Woohoo! Let's blame it on the medical staff.
Jenny came with violence straight away with Klopp.
But I think Klopp is the root cause of the medical staff, right? Because isn't he super tight with that? I always forget the guy's name, but he was with he was with Man City beforehand, and I think he was with Nottingham Forest or something before then. Each team had injury problems over the last 2 years. We've had 320 combined missed games, which is like
more than anyone.
100.
More than anyone.
It's not just more than anyone. It's 150 more than anyone. I mean, I think Man City this year has like 63. I think we're pressing 175 if you count the last 2 games.
3 times more.
Yeah. Right, on your screen now is the geezer that is getting a lot of the blame.
Exactly.
Andres Kuhnmeier. He's the head of fitness and conditioning.
Yeah, schmuck.
He came. He came up with the way we play. You know, the way we play in this organised way of pressing and all that. Apparently, he told Klopp we can do that for so many years.
Oh yeah,
and
good job.
He's very tight with Jurgen. Him and Jurgen are apparently really close. Jurgen's the one who apparently got him the job at Liverpool.
You can tell. It looks like his son.
Brothers in them.
They do look like brothers a little bit, don't they? But he's getting a lot of the aggro at the moment. Apparently, he's not very well liked. He is not very well liked behind the scenes.
I wonder why.
It would make sense. Everyone talks about how we have injury-prone players. We have an injury-prone system. None of these guys were nearly as injury-prone before they came to Liverpool. It's just you can go and those are simple statistics.
You know, if you guys have lived under dictatorship before, you will understand Klopp. Klopp is just a dictator, and his modus operandi is how dictators operate: friends and family cabal. So he has the people who tell him what he wants to hear, and that's what he wants to hear. He has people who give him what you call fanful respect, which is respect just because they won't tell him the truth. It's like what you guys call the naked king, right? The king is naked, but you can't tell him, because if you tell him, you say off with your head. Pep Linders goes around giving stupid interviews about tactics he should never be given. How many number 2s have you heard giving interviews? He does that all the time. He gets upset. Klopp gets upset.
Look at that beautiful smile.
Yeah, Klopp gets upset when a reporter, Helen Reddy, writes something that's true, something that was leaked to her. True, he gets upset. He allots that to another journalist, and of course, I'm not crying over James Pierce because he's an idiot. So what he got was good, but that's how dictators operate. If you lived under dictatorship, this shouldn't be new. Unfortunately, what is going to happen is that if somebody doesn't put a halt on him, he's going to run this whole thing aground. And if they don't get it right by next year, I think I'm going to have to live with Drew.
Right. What can I ask everyone a question? What does this man actually do, Peter Kvovitz?
Wait,
he's the assistant manager.
Huh?
He's the assistant manager.
He's the assistant manager. Yeah.
How
come you guys don't know that? He's the real assistant manager.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was one of the coaches, you know.
I thought it was the free kick coach.
He is the real assistant manager, but he's just been relegated to free kick status.
This is on Liverpool's website. He's the assistant manager.
I can't lie.
I think he's more like the in-game
word
guy.
ever. I've never heard him say a word ever.
As Kat says, he always looks depressed on the sidelines.
He never celebrates.
He's been relegated to fruitcake status.
No, but Jamie, what's funny? This is exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, you see how it's like. Yeah, you've come into the club. Yeah, I'm sure Klopp told you one thing, and then now somehow you're assistant manager, and it's like
Peter K on crack. For fuck's Like,
I've never. Man.
if you're English and you know Peter Kay, isn't it? But yeah, Jesus
Pep
Christ.
Linders is actually the coach of Liverpool.
Yeah, and
He's
he's
the
the
coach.
assistant manager. Yeah. If I go on Pep there, Pep's the assistant manager and coach, and so's Peter and John Attenberg, and you've got Jack Robinson. He's the goalkeeping coach.
Yeah, I've seen him.
You got Taffarel. By the way, Taffarel.
He's the real
Taffarel.
goat. This guy's the real goat.
Big up
This guy's the real
Taffarel.
goat.
Oh, by the way, quit the.
DJ did on that list.
He quit the Brazilian national job to coach for Liverpool full time now.
He's the only one I like on that list.
Love
Yeah.
that.
Well, to be honest, the goalkeeping situation is already sorted, isn't it? So
Yeah, that's good. But yeah, these. And here's our doctor for everyone who was wondering. That's our doctor.
I didn't even know we had one. Flipping hell. I thought it was just NHS, like NHS settings. I thought that's what we were doing.
Would you trust that doctor?
Never. Never in a million years. I prefer to self-medicate.
I let me just ask this question: Is our situation because of what Klopp does or wants? He and his team wants, and the medical team just has to tag along? Because who says he's even listening to the advice they're giving?
No, come on, man. Jurgen Klopp is one of the smartest managers in the world. You think that when the medical team comes to him and says something, he goes, no, I'm not listening to you. Of course he listens to them.
If you're smart, if you're that smart, why would you be training at night?
No, come on, man.
Liverpool
that doesn't
is
matter.
the only
Train at
team
night,
in
train
the
in the morning.
EPL.
And it doesn't matter.
Is the only
Wait,
team in the EPL whose players train at
hold
night.
on. Night training is what the semi-professionals in the conference do. Like 7:30 p.m., 7:45. That's like Boston League training. That's like Thursdays. And come on, professionals don't be doing that. No,
That's what they do. They train at night.
Professionals shouldn't be training at night. That's like
apparently Klopp likes to train when they have a kickoff time. So if the kickoff time's 8 p.m. at night, I believe they train at 8 p.m. at night. If they train, they've got a kickoff. I think they train. He tries to get them into do training sessions around what time they kick off. I think he's always done that. So,
Jamie, that's what those conference people do. That's that's what those conference people do.
And another thing, nobody knows whether the training is UFC or WWE. How come 70% of the injuries happen in training? What do? Do they like use knives and pangas and go to hells and stuff to train? What exactly do they do there?
Yeah, wouldn't it be great if some reporter actually one day asked that question, that exact question?
You ain't seen
how would Klopp answer that?
Wait, that's so weird. Wow. So what? When you're training at night, like wouldn't the players be like, I've got a family to go home to, like?
And they're like, F your family. You pay $200,000 a week. You're coming training.
I worry about the weather, because the weather at that time of the night is not so conducive to what they do.
Right, but Albert and everyone on the panel, when you do train at night, like he's doing, you when you get off work, when some people get off work, you have an idea of, all right, I'm done with work. I want to have a drink, or I want to relax, or your brain, your body conceptualizes your realm of how you go about whatever it is, whatever time of day it is. It's the same way when you wake up, you do certain things, or your body's just trained to do certain things. If anything, it's a sports science thing, because it's something that I have been reading on, but it's a sports science thing in that he's doing his best to somewhat adjust your body to being in the mindset that at 8 o'clock your body's going to be working out or actually in something physical. Just like you said, normally at 8 o'clock you're at home with your children, or you're eating dinner or something like that. Your brain is already like, I should be shutting down, or this is the time I can go into different gears. He's putting into these players a concept that at 8 o'clock we're going to be playing these games. So let's get our body and mind into a concept that we'll be ready for that time.
Yeah, but we're the only ones.
I just don't think
it's a sports science thing.
Guys,
I get that, but it's a sports science thing.
Let me cut across you for a moment. This is funny, right? Yeah. Is it a wonder that we lose every 12-30 match? We lose every 12-30 match.
Wait, okay, 12 months. Basically, if we're the only club that does it, Okay, we're the only club that does it
I have
because,
no
from
idea
my
if we're the only club
understanding,
that does it. I'm just telling you that it's an actual like conceptualization of how he goes about his
Yeah.
training is
no, but
towards that
we are the
sense.
only club that do it though. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I don't know if we are.
Are you
If
sure?
there's-
Do you follow every other club's training sessions?
Exactly. That's
Like,
a
do you
broad,
follow
that's
Nottingham
a
Forest?
bold statement.
I don't think. Okay, besides, I'm not talking about the West Hams and the whatever. No, they can do what they want. But besides the so I'm talking about the people in the top four, and then obviously Liverpool as well. I think the majority of them are training during the day. They're not training at 8 p.m.
That's just your opinion.
I
You
mean,
have no facts to back that up.
You have no
No,
facts to
they
back it
do.
up. Okay.
Okay, cool.
I mean, but regardless of that, and regardless of the whole injury thing, I'm more curious to see if because I think that Klopp tactically this year is too one-dimensional, and that's been our biggest problem. And I don't know if you guys all feel the same way, because I think that Klopp is like he gets away with so much for making so many poor decisions. And we were 5-1 in the group stage in Europe. You can't tell me that this is a 7th place in the Premier League quality side, no matter the problems the problems in midfield. Sorry to change it up. I was
just reading something here about it, and it says during the season's winter months, much of the squad's training games are done in the evening. They're saying here. So I don't know why that is. It's the way it does it, but we got like 20 minutes here. So who are we blaming for the like? Obviously, some of us blaming the medical department and stuff like that. But this season has been terrible. We're 6th in the Premier League right now. We're way off it. We've not improved our midfield in a few years. Everyone always comes at FSG. I blame whoever. I blame Klopp this season. I think Klopp's not been great. His job is to coach and manage his side, and he's not been great at this season. Doesn't mean I don't like him as a manager and don't want him to go or anything like that. He just don't want to be. So who do you guys think is to totally blame? Is it all FSG? Is it 50-50? What do you reckon? Go for it.
It's probably both, isn't it? Because the playing style, Klopp's playing style needs a club that invests. So it's nothing more you can do, really. I think no matter what happens going forward, if you're going to play Klopp's playing style, you need to continuously be investing in players that can play that style. Otherwise, it's just going to keep going down the drain. So
yeah, we've had 13 defeats in all competitions this season.
What did we have?
13.
Like 3 last year? 2 in the Premier League and 1 in the final?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Right.
I mean, I feel like it's the FSG is to blame for not spending 30 to 50 million per summer, which is what football clubs should do for the past 4 years. But Klopp is to blame for putting these players in positions that they're clearly not capable of and continuing to do it week after week. I mean, we played the same way against Wolves as we did against Brighton, and we lost 6-0 between those games. I think our record against Brighton this year is 9-1, or maybe it's 9-0. No, I'm sorry, it's 8-1 because of the FA Cup. So it's like FSG in the long run have blamed for not doing it. Now we have to spend $300 million or euros, whatever. But Klopp is a Premier League manager, and this team scored 93 points last season. Even if you can make whatever excuses you want, we went to all 4 finals. At the end of the day, it's on him. Like he's not putting these players in a position to win, and he's doing the same thing week in, week out, expecting a different result, which is Einstein's definition of insanity, which has been this entire season.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can hear a thing in the background. Can everyone else hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out who it is. Let me just mute you all. Hang on. Not John. Not Jen. Not Albert. I think it. Right. Oh, fuck it. We'll move on. Just Klopp needs to change his playing style next season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Look, the thing with Klopp is that he needs to be dynamic. Okay?
Like Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
A good manager is a dynamic manager. A good manager is a guy who needs to know that, hey, right now I'm having a few challenges to my preferred playing style. So I need to switch to a certain style that works for me, or at least preserves the status quo. And I'll give you a case in point. If you guys remember against Brighton, the one that we lost 3-0, he was playing a 4-2-3-1 in the first half. We weren't playing great, but we didn't concede. He goes into the first half, comes back, and then he switches to his tried and tested 4-3-3, and everything just goes haywire. Oh, everything just goes doolally over there. He needs to change his thinking. It's
He needs to be more tactically aware.
Right. It's not always about a forward match all the time, jack boots all the time. It doesn't work that way. And I just want to touch a little bit on the blame. I have evolved my blame percentages thanks to admonition from my good friend 12th Man, a few others, that you can't completely blame Klopp. I give him some of the blame. I haven't decided the weighted averages yet, but if you have owners like FSG, it doesn't matter how good a manager you are, you're gonna have problems. Because if you have owners like FSG, like I said, Liverpool is the only team that has a major bank sponsoring it. So how can they tell us that they can tell their manager who tells them, I need X, Y, Z, you can only have X. At least give him X and Y, right? And say we can't afford Z. But in the case of Klopp, he always gets X instead of X, Y, Z. The part I blame Klopp for is the pretense, because he's an enabler. He pockets his £15 million a year and just behaves like everything is hunky-dory, and we all know it's not. So in terms of the weighted averages, the statisticians should do the math. But we are heading towards what Americans call FUBA, fucked up beyond all recognition. And if we don't stop that train, it's going to be a problem. I mean, if we think this season was bad, let's be happy that we had Alisson. Imagine if shit goes on like this.
Tell them, Uncle. Tell him. It'll be terrible.
Alisson tells you, as Alisson tells you that Barcelona want me, so I'm gonna go. That we're gonna have to restrain him with the kind of restraints that are put on guys in the lunatic asylum, so he can't leave. Because if he leaves, we're in total doo-doo. So my thing is, I think everybody should evolve their position. Klopp should stop being so rigid. I want to get married to Serena Williams. I didn't get Serena Williams. She decided to marry the white boy with all the money. So now I'm going to wank for the rest of my life. Right? That don't work. So I didn't get Serena Williams get married to Coco Gauff or something. She's available. She's not married. So that's what I'm saying. He needs to evolve his position, and for crying out loud, our FSG owners need to shape up or sell up. Because we can't compete with Qatari ownership of Man U. We can't compete with Saudi ownership of Newcastle. We can't compete with free spending Man City and free spending Arsenal. So
like that.
Right now, it's 6 brides for 7 brothers. We have to make sure that we are not left out.
That's a good film, by the way. On that point, Albert. On that point, you just said about competing with the likes of City with their financial spending and stuff like that. But aren't we the only team in the last few years that have competed with Man City?
Yeah, but Jamie, you have to put it into context.
Yeah, because the rest of the Premier League was shit.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm not
Jamie, we are cracking at the seams, right? We are cracking at the seams. It's like going in with Mike Tyson. You went in with Mike Tyson. You've struggled to stay with him for 5 rounds, and everybody's saying you've done well. By the 6th round, you are out.
Exactly.
right?
Well,
Because he knocks you out because
I got
he's much more than you.
I got a comment here from Quasi. Big up, my man. Hope you're doing well. He says here, are the owners enabling Klopp's bad habits?
Yes.
of course.
That's why.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
why.
Absolutely. Kwesi is spot on.
This is
Go on,
Match
John.
why.
made in heaven.
If
Match
you
made in heaven.
if you go back to even when Rodgers left, initially Ancelotti was actually the first choice, but they opted not to go for him because obviously with Ancelotti he demands funds, he demands a lot of backing for when it comes to transfers. So obviously
Exactly.
Klopp and FSG was a match made in heaven because obviously with Klopp, how much did Lewandowski cost Borussia Dortmund? It was like 1 mil from some next Polish team.
Yeah.
So shrewd signings like that, they knew like Klopp would accept or
Yeah.
oversee. So it's like,
And that's Klopp's mentality, like trying to always find these weird gems and then hopefully hoping, like Jamie said, Basetic was just by accident. Somehow he ended up working, and then oops, now he's here. So
Yeah.
like that's
Yeah, in furtherance with what Drew is saying, but for Michael Edwards, we would have had Julian Brandt and Mario Götze instead of Salah and Mane. Can you imagine a world with those two? Can you imagine?
No, but
but you see, I think we do have to. For me, it's obviously, for me both of them are at fault. But again, I did say it on another show, similar to what John is saying, that I don't think any other elite manager would come to Liverpool because they already know they can't access the funds. Like you see how Conte was spazzing out the other day. Like he wouldn't, like nobody, like he wouldn't come to Liverpool because he knows that isn't going to work. Like he knows he's not going to get funds, he's not going to get backing. Nobody's really coming to do that. So yeah, I think to be honest, I think Klopp would do well at Newcastle because Newcastle's got funds, and
Yeah.
Newcastle are kind of playing the push and power like we are, just running up and down.
Here's a question for you, Ian. So players that are world class can fall off, can't they, and not become and are suddenly not as great as they once were, and you wouldn't call them world class anymore. Yeah. Can managers do that as well?
Yeah,
absolutely.
So is Jurgen Klopp still elite?
No.
Or is he falling off a little bit?
He's fallen off.
I think that he's not adapting, right? Like he's remaining stagnant. Kind of like how back to a point, back to the point that you just made about how we were competing with City, who were spending all of this money, and we weren't, and like that's fine, but that was 4 years ago, and things change, and everyone else has slowly been evolving as we've been remaining stagnant. So Jurgen needs. I think that one of the most important characteristics of any manager is their ability to adapt. I think Pep does it great. I mean, I can't. I genuinely, I think that the only player that I can remember that was playing that played us, Man City, when we won 4-3, right? That huge game at Anfield. I think the only player I can remember on City from that year is Kevin De Bruyne. I think that we pretty much have every single player that was on that team outside of Mane still at the club. So it's a combination of the lack of evolution of the squad, and at the same time, the lack of development of Jurgen on the tactical side. I mean, we're playing the same way that we played in 2019. You're telling me that Man City or Bayern Munich or PSG or Real Madrid or Barcelona are playing the same way that they were playing 4 years ago? It's just there's no way.
Mike, you see, that's why I also think that Pep Linda's book isn't really doing anything in terms of he's exposing us, because I think any club with common sense can sense out how we play. So that's why I don't think that book has done anything. I think it's common sense how we play nowadays. People just sit behind the ball nowadays. They're not going to go toe to toe, and then so I don't think that book has done anything. But I've always said that anywhere Pep goes, if Klopp is there as well, Klopp will always be number 2 to Pep, because Pep can adapt and Klopp is not going to adapt.
Exactly.
That's the difference.
So you see, Drew,
in Germany,
the problem with the book is that when it's just a sign, or it's just symptomatic of the malaise. It's what people can point to and say this is what caused the malaise, because there actually is a malaise. If nothing was happening, nobody would have talked about the book. So I'm agreeing with you. A case in point is Klopp's decision not to adapt to the Operation Target trend. Every manager who has any modicum of sense in his head watching Liverpool playing will say, go and target Trent. And the
Yeah.
target Trent works all the time, or almost all the time. And what Klopp is saying is Trent, play through the problem. That's not how it should work.
Listen. The day that I saw Sane rip Trent and Gomez, I already knew it was game over. That day when he was making them dance, he's going back and forth like no tomorrow. I already said, yeah, it's game over. Like even my friend who's an Arsenal fan, he said the number one person that is a target at Liverpool is Trent. Every time, whenever you play, just go get Trent.
Now from Sane, we have Mitoma, we have Vinicius Jr. And I said this the last time, everybody was laughing at me. I was saying that if Trent was a prostitute, Vinicius would be his favorite client. There's Vinicius, there's Mitoma, there's
everyone who plays against Trent looks like prime Messi.
There's Sarabia.
They do. Anyone looks good against Trent. I'm
who
sorry.
has a good winger. Everybody who has a good winger target strength. And let's face it, against Manchester United, Ten Hag made a tactical error. He didn't put Rashford on Trent. If he had put Rashford on Trent, there would have been problems.
Well, I want to make another point about Trent because I see no one bringing this up. Over the last 12 months, Trent has 4 assists. So regardless of all of the offensive brilliance that he displays, he has 4 assists in 12 months, whereas he's probably let in 30 goals from the right side in the last 12 months. So I just want to let everyone know that it ain't equal. It is
what we're going to do here, we're going to end that here, guys. It's been a great debate, great panel.
Excellent.
Always,
thanks, pal.
Absolutely love it. So what we decided
Jamie, you're becoming Jamie, you're becoming like a woman I once dated. Just when it's getting good, that's when she calls off and goes home.
Hang on, I'll have a shave next time, Albert. And then
right? Just when it's getting good, that's when she wants to go home.
Oh no, I'll go. I'd love to stay for hours.
Albert, you're great, man. I can't lie. You're the great.
I know, but Albert's the man. Big up DJ Brains to the big super chat. I think Klopp is lined up to replace Carlo Ancelotti at Real Madrid. Carlo looked like trash at Everton, but when he went back to Madrid, where he had the right tools and money, he won everything. Yeah, I mean, I would as well. But yeah, guys, we're out of here. What we're going to sum it up is, I think we all want FSG to leave the football club. Some of us want Jurgen to do better. Some of us want Jurgen to go with FSG. It's all up for debate, guys. Do not get angry in the comments below after the video. It's people's opinions on the club that they love. Not everyone's always going to have the same opinions, guys. Remember that.
Agreed.
Guys, we will be back. I'll be doing this call-in show probably every week now, so probably Wednesday nights going forward, unless there's a Liverpool game. I mean, next season, Liverpool might not have Tuesday and Wednesday night European games anymore, so I might be more free. So, yeah, guys, big up to the panel. Much love to everyone in the live chat. Thank you for everything. We'll see you again tomorrow for the England-Italy watch-along, which we'll probably talk anything but football. So enjoy.